He was an otaku who happened to be good looking, athletic, and just perfectly built to become a hero. He was a fat, stinky, ugly bastard who gets introduced jacking off.
I feel so attacked right now. I know he's not talking to me. I know he's not talking about me, but he's talking about niggas that kind of look like me, and I don't like that. Don't tell me about myself.
You nasty.
Talk about the nasty cast. Is your man behind the camera, director, here with another GIGGUK reaction. Winter Anime 2021. We have now officially left behind 2020. The year's so nice, you gotta say it twice. We're moving into 2021. To be honest with you, I actually don't quite remember what's going on in this season of anime, but I do know for a fact that it's about around this time that I really was like deep into starting my own channel, number one. Number two, I think this is about the year where I discovered GIGGUK himself and actually went back and started reacting to the videos. I think one of the first ones I ever did was Sword Art Online in 8 minutes, and I did the 10 minutes, and I did Dong and the Frank, and I started and I was like, this guy, he gets me, man. He's in my head. He knows what I like, and he makes what I like, and I have to share this joy with the world. Also, I definitely got some suggestions from my other YouTube videos. Like, yo, you should check out this guy named GIGGUK. If you like these kinds of videos, yo, you should check this out. And I'm very glad I did, because now we've been on this wonderful journey together, this beautiful adventure. And slowly but surely, we are catching up. We're catching up. I feel like 2021, and then I feel like maybe 2022, and I'm caught up. To be honest with you, I might actually already be caught up. I ain't gonna hold you because, no, that's not true. No, 2022 might have been when I started doing a newer one. So yeah, this might be the last year of backlog anime in a nutshell. What an interesting and dope ride that it's been. As you guys know, there's some of his regular videos that I also do. So just because we're finishing the In a Nutshell series, I'm definitely gonna go back and do the best of. I gotta do a lot. I gotta do a couple of the best of, because those are a little bit longer, and I like to make sure I'm full of energy before I do those. But also, he has a bunch of other videos based off of mangas and anime that I couldn't watch back then because I hadn't seen the manga or the anime that he was speaking of. But now that I have on this side of 2023, I definitely go back and dive into some of those and, you know, see what else we have. Y'all already know the vibes. We're just gonna jump right into this one. Go to the old video, tell GIGGUK, DN, the nasty cast, then we said what's up, and you know, hopefully he's like, yo, I see you back there grinding, showing love. Let me show you some love too. Let me use your voice for on these videos. I think that the dopest thing that I could achieve at this moment is if one, GIGGUK were to be like, yo, Director Nasty, you react to my stuff. But two, what if he lets me in one of the videos and I get to say nigga for him? Imagine that. Like, there's a valid reason for him to have to say nigga in one of his videos, and he lets me do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but that sounds cool as fuck to me, bro. That sounds cool as fuck to me. The only reason I say that is because I know, like, there's some abridged series where they let they use, that's what they use their black creators for, and I'm not above it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not above it. If I could get like a VA line and my one line's like, damn nigga, I think that's kind of cool. But anywho's, that's neither here nor there. Let's jump into winter 2021. It's a cold winter out here, so let's heat up with some dope anime. Reaction starts now.
POV. You're an anime fan in 2020. Well, I'm deep in lockdown, but the season's pretty dry. I mean, I'm gonna be watching Kaguya. I guess I'll watch Tower of God, but there isn't really anything else that catches my interest. Oh well. POV. You're an anime fan in 2021. What the hell? How is this season so stacked? Attack on Titan? ReZero again? Look at all these sequels! Look at all these other shows! How the hell am I gonna find time to watch all this? Oh well. What the fuck is going on with this season? Where do I even begin? My 2020 Anime of the Year ReZero is finally back to complete its arc.
Baby.
Promise Neverland is returning with more toddlers playing 5D chess. Beastars egging me on to convert to furryism. Slime 2 is hype. So is Log Horizon 3. So is Eurocamp 2. So is 7 Deadly... So is Cells at Work 2, Quince 2, Non-on-Biori 2, and on top of all of this, we have Attack on Titan final season, every high expectation we had, and punching straight past them. Fuck everything I said about modern anime classics, we are watching a classic being made right in front of our eyes. I'm Not gonna be talking about any of those. Because on top of all this, we still have the non-sequel shows which by themselves are enough to match any of the seasons from last year.
Fuck,
this might be one of the most single-packed season of anime in the history of anime. Is this actually it?
Damn, he said in the history.
Where the 2021 redemption arc finally begins.
Kind of.
Hello, I don't want make it all the fame.
Oh, there.
Like 1,000 miles away, I heard someone.
Anime is doomed.
Mushiko. I think I saw Horimiya.
I would like to welcome you to the future. For years, we've been pushing the limits of computer technology. As technology evolves, so has our approach when it comes to keeping on the cutting edge of animation. Reinventing how people see CG. Reinventing the shows that uses it. Reinventing anime itself. 5 years ago, we gave you Berserk 2016. 4 years ago, we gave you Berserk 2017. Today,
as fuck, bro.
I present to
my
you
God.
Berserk 2077. I think we found it, guys. We found
EX
the best
Arm?
animated
Oh
show
my
of
God.
2021. Apparently, this is an anime coming from a real studio with staff members who've never worked on a single anime before.
Yeah, he
I'm
made a video on this.
absolutely
It was
shocked.
bad.
I don't think I'm overstating it when I say that X-Arm may set a new standard of animation that will send ripples in the industry. Look at this 3D. I haven't seen 3D this clean since Gary's mod was released, which I'm guessing is what it was also animated in. The lip slaps have obviously been inspired by dubbed kung fu movies by how accurate they are. They even got my favorite 2000s rock band to do the opening. Slink 183, and on top of all this, you may not even notice, but in some shots, if you look really carefully, you may see that some characters don't even inhabit the same dimension. I've seen a lot of people compare this to PS2 graphics, and I don't know why people would say something so insulting
about PS2.
I
Yeah,
think
bro.
This is far more reminiscent of Cyberpunk's stunning visuals, showcasing a futuristic setting and T-posing. The original trailer boldly said, and I quote, declaring war against all sci-fi series around the world. Which, as bold as the claim may be, I think also technically constitutes this as a war crime. Remember this day,
it's definitely a
gentlemen,
war crime.
as we are witnessing history. This may actually set a new benchmark never before seen in anime. Generations from now, we'll be looking back and saying, remember that time when Attack on Titan Season 4 was airing? Was it really better than X-Arm? You know how sometimes the show is just so weird you have no idea how to describe it, so you're just grasping at straws trying to find a point for comparison? I've seen people describe this as a hybrid of about 10 different anime directed by Satoshi Ikuhara Shinkai Ano Yuasa, which just makes it more confusing. And I think they're all missing the point, because clearly, Wonder Egg is just the very first strand type anime. So this yellow hooded girl has a casual conversation with a cicada before finding some egg, seeing a bunch of girls cosplaying hentai censorship, and then having a full-blown argument with some talking toilet paper.
What the fuck?
The egg then hatches into a girl, and at this point you're just thinking, damn.
What?
I want whatever she's on. But as the episode unfolds, you start to get a hint of what this is actually about. We're peering into a glimpse of a damaged, broken psyche, and it's up to us to piece together what really happened. What is this world? What happened to her? Why did her friend jump? It's a cerebral tale of bullying and depression, and out of everything in Winter, this was the one that edged its way deepest into me. I'm not gonna pretend I understood what I watched, but what I will say is that it was the only show I kept thinking about afterwards. And I don't exactly understand why. I had that slight feeling that I was watching something that could blossom into something really special. I still don't know what this is going to be about, but I'm definitely going to stick around to find out.
Yeah, Wonder Egg Priority is one of the ones I heard the streets talking about in 2021, but like nobody could like properly explain why it's dope, what's it about, what goes on. And so like we never watched it or spun the block. Seeing this, it sounds and looks interesting, but I don't know. I just don't know. It looks like somebody took shrooms, acid, and every cocktail of drugs known to man and was like, now let's make an anime about a girl. I don't know, man. Odd, but
if it'll be better than X-Arm.
Hopefully. Horimiya.
I'm in this picture and I don't like it. I'd like to think for the most part that the anime and manga community are one and the same, but sometimes there comes along a title that just makes me think that manga readers live on a different plane of existence.
They do.
Horimiya was a highly anticipated manga adaptation that I've never heard anyone mention or talk about prior. So when all the manga readers scurried out of their rocks to exclaim their excitement, I thought it must have a big cult following or something. So I check it out and, it's the 13th most popular manga of all time on Mal.
Really?
What? From the trailer, I thought it was just going to be a serious love triangle romance drama on the likes of Toradora, but honestly, this is just wholesome as fuck. A rom-com about looking past appearances and never judging a book by its cover. For example, he may look like a straight-edge nerdy student who follows the rules when really he's a secret bad boy with tattoos and piercings. And also, he's fucking hot. And she may look like the pretty, popular girl in school, but nobody knows her little secret that will change the way everyone looks at her. She's a good sister. Who does chores at home. And she wears her hair in a bun. If that's not enough for you,
nah, hold on. Nah, I don't like that. Yo, Horimiya. So we just watched Horimiya on YBR. Actually, I don't know if y'all niggas know that. Anyways, yeah, we just watched Horimiya. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, that show was fuego. It was wholesome. It was beautiful, wonderful storytelling. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, don't watch this part because I'm about to spoil the best part of this shit. I'm going to tell you right now. Just skip 30 seconds ahead. Right now if you don't want to know what happens to Horimiya. It's one of the few animes where they actually fuck. And they let you know that they fucked and they don't hide it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, and a Hori's a freak. Nigga, what? Oh, beautiful. It was such a good story. It's not just good because of those things that I said. It's a good story because what they do very well in Horimiya is they tell very mature relationship style. It is a very mature story told through the lens of college students, right? But they show varying degrees of relationships, varying degrees of friendship, and varying degrees of love. It's a very interesting, well-told story. I highly recommend you check it out. I saw the anime. I never in my life would have guessed that it was 13th best-selling manga of all time. Never would have known that, but I understand why now. I understand why after watching the whole goddamn thing. I couldn't imagine what they showed in the manga after what I just said, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Bottom tier character Tomazaki, following the top rated player in Definitely Not Smash Bros. For all you real gamers out there. A true gaming anime about a gamer who's really good at gaming, meeting a gamer girl as they become gamer friends as she teaches him how to win at the biggest game of all, the game of life. And so starts his training arc as he learns that to be a true pro gamer who wins at everything, he first needs to learn how to lose. His virginity. As someone who had zero social skills growing up, this was actually really interesting to me. It's a romantic comedy that breaks down social interactions and gamifies them, and it's a fun watch if you don't take the concepts too seriously. It's a pro gamer learning how to function in society, with a cute anime girl teaching him social skills, personal hygiene, and grooming. Yes, that's right, folks. This is literally the uplifting story of a Smash player discovering deodorant.
Oh,
you know, I feel sorry for any volleyball anime coming straight off the heels of Haikyuu, especially when it's about the bromance of an ace duo starring a genius setter who got pushed out of his previous team because of a bad attitude because, well, it's coming straight off the heels of Haikyuu. Don't think the Haikyuu squad are worrying too much about bullying, depression, and suicide, so if you're looking for a darker edition, definitely keep an eye out for this one.
Dark Haikyuu, got it.
We got the Cells at Work spin-off, Cells at Work.
Oh my God, I'm black.
I actually enjoyed it. It was way more interesting to see cells function in an unhealthy body, even if it did make me feel shit in my own lifestyle choices. On the upside though, apparently that means having a white blood cells that gets my cells at work, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my God, oh my Lord. Yes, please. Tony Hawk.
I can't believe it's taken this long to get an actual skateboarding anime, and I can't believe the first skateboarding anime is unironically called Skate the Infinity with an 8. God, if you're gonna do that, might as well just go all the way. Bring back the cool S, say it's PH Fat. Because you know what, for all these pretty skater boys, all the girls seem to have said, see you later, boy. This is coming from the director of Free and Banana Fish, and You can definitely tell that. There are definitely a lot of pretty boys, along with Gene Simmons, you got fucking Lelouch apparently, and our main character is actually Canadian, which I think is great, because we finally get more representation in anime for my favorite country, America too. That was a joke for Canadians, it was a cheap, stupid joke.
Nah, I like it.
I know Canadians are nothing like Americans. You guys are great. Please don't kill me. Oh, what are you gonna do? Apologize me to death?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Next?
Why are there children playing in the road? God damn.
Oh yeah.
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm taking a leak. Look away. Look away!
No, why?
Look, I hate spiders as much as the next guy, and I don't need some cheap
my
spider
God, I
propaganda
can't.
showing
Okay,
up on
I
my
can't.
timeline,
Okay, I
but
can't.
goddamn.
Listen, I watched this whole anime.
This is a cute little spider.
Here's what you have to understand. Here's what you have to understand. Listen, I'm gonna let this cook. I'm probably not gonna look at it. I watched this whole anime on YBR's channel. I am a massive, massive, massive arachnophobe. I can't stand spiders to the point where at any moment, if there's me and a spider in a room, only one of us can survive. So you can see at this point, I am currently undefeated versus every spider I've ever met in my life. And I gotta be honest with you, I almost didn't make it through this anime, bro. There was like at least 3 or 4 times I almost passed the fuck out. It literally haunted my dreams at times. That aside, yo, it was a fire-ass anime, bro. It was a fire-ass isekai. For what it came through in this season, it was absolute heat. So if you want to see your boy screaming, acting like a bitch, comment down below. Yo, where's the so what reactions? I'll drop a link for y'all. But you got to comment down below if you want to see it. Because if you don't comment, I'm not going on my way to show it to y'all. Because I got to be honest with you, it was some of the worst moments in my life. Some of the worst, most embarrassing moments I've ever had on camera. And that's saying a lot considering I've seen Ugenkai's dog. Just move with that. So with that being said, I'm going to press play, but I can't watch this again. I can't put myself through that. I don't know what I'm going to do for this moment, but I'm going to vibe out and y'all can just watch because
I don't care if you give a shit about Isekai or not, Ao Yuki absolutely steals this show as a girl reincarnated as a spider. I just watched a hyperactive spider figuring out how to be a spider for 20 minutes and it was entertaining as fuck. Am I about to give best girl to a fucking arachnid? Like, not even a waifu-ized Sigmund Freudian, I want to fuck this spider, but an actual fucking arachnid? Oh look, it's basically is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon, except the guy is actually picking up some girls. We got supposedly kids from the last bunch of boonies moved to a starter town. This is another one of those isekai-less isekai shows about... Wait, what's this show about again? Oh yeah. I don't know why Gohans insists on continuing the Handshaker's legacy, but they've really outdone themselves this time, using a literal green screen explosion effect you can find on YouTube, giving us a masterclass in visual coherency not seen since the likes of X-Arm 5 minutes ago. Remember that one scene from episode 1 of Goblin Slayer that everyone got super upset and offended over? Have you ever looked at that and thought to yourself, like, what if we made an entire show around that one scene, but just 10 times worse? If you ever needed a reminder,
the season of Redo
reviews Japan, remember that a real human being was successfully convinced to give Redo of Healer an anime adaptation. I think this is the first time I've watched an anime and thought to myself, I should probably chill out to something more vanilla after this. How about a bit of rant, Isekai Harem Monogatari perhaps, maybe even something wholesome like Berserk for some light reading. It's beyond edgy, it's everything people got upset about in Goblin Slayer and Shield Hero multiplied to 10-fold. Accurate. To cause an absolute shitstorm online, except this time I don't think anyone's gonna be defending it. So all I can say is, thank God Twitter thinks Attack on Titan CG is more offensive. Mushoku Tensei's light novel is touted as the grandfather of modern isekai and one of the greatest the genre has to offer. So as the seasoned isekai trash man, my expectations were high coming into this, and it somehow met every one of them. It's obvious right from the get-go that this was not influenced by the cliches of other isekai, but is in fact the progenitor of them. They're not just speedrunning the death and reincarnation. Proper time is put into his life growing up and learning about this fantasy world instead of just assuming we know the ropes already. But because of this, there's a level of detail in the world building and magic systems that aren't present or are just glossed over in other isekai. The magic system isn't just control water because this is a fantasy world. There's an actual logic and structure behind it. The protagonist is an antisocial otaku, but that doesn't mean he was an otaku otaku who happened to be good-looking, athletic, and just perfectly built to become a hero. He was a fat, stinky, ugly bastard who literally gets introduced jacking off to hentai. He's the ugly truth of what the usual isekai protagonist should have been. He's flawed.
Okay, I feel so fucking attacked right now. I know he's not talking to me. I know he's not talking about me, but he's talking about niggas that kind of look like me, and I don't like that. Don't tell me about myself. The difference is I touch grass, though. I also beat off the
usual isekai protagonist should have been. He's flawed, he's hella horny, he's been bullied, he's been traumatized, and this doesn't all just magically disappear because he's been reincarnated into a fantasy world. He doesn't just feel like your typical vehicle for a wish fulfillment protagonist, but an actual character. So even though we are treading on concepts we've seen in so many other isekai before, it somehow feels fresh. Watching this felt like watching The Godfather after years of only watching Gangster Squad, after seeing generations of these concepts being watered down and turned into tropes and cliches. It was surreal to see the actual foundations they were all originally based on. This isn't even mentioning the insane production values that went into this. From the soundtrack to the animation, it can at times feel like a feature film production, and it's probably the best looking anime airing this season. What is presented here feels like an anomaly. This is an isekai that's reminiscent of all the generic trash isekai I've gorged myself in over the years, but just genuinely feels like a good show without any twists or gimmicks in the formula. Guys, maybe this is the isekai we've been waiting for.
No, it really is.
How long has it been? How long have those of us in the isekai garbage dump been persecuted, ridiculed, mocked for having trash taste? Just another basic bitch craving a cheap, escapist, power fantasy show with yet another bland protagonist only there for our wish fulfillment.
Damn.
But no more, my brothers. The winds are changing. Times are changing. Here, we could have a show, a good show, that can prove to people that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't so bad after all. Maybe there was potential to be seen that no one else could see. Underneath the 100th overpowered protagonist in the 100th fantasy world, copying the 100th RPG.
Terrible.
Maybe isekai was never meant to be trash. Maybe it was meant to be beautiful.
It was. Nah, it's literally
anime of the season.
Stop. Come on. Yeah, that was Winter Anime 2021. Honestly, that was a stacked ass season. Oh my god. Funny enough, that season was not too long ago. Ooh, actually, that's almost 3 years ago now. Ooh, crazy to think about. But that was a very, very stacked season. You had Redo, you had So When I'm a Spider, you had Horimiya, Wonder Egg Priority, and on top of that, you had everything that was already running. The ReZero came back that season. Attack on Titan final season had started that year. Yo, absolutely stacked to the tip top. Things I want to talk about. So What I'm a Spider, very good fantasy isekai, one of the better of the season. I promise you, it's good. And this is coming from an arachnophobe. Just go watch it. I can't begin to tell you, just go watch it. Horimiya was fantastic. I didn't watch it during that season. I actually just recently watched it. Another one that was a banger. Unexpected Heat. I went into it, I'm like, oh, it's some sort of rom-com shit. What are we doing here? And like within 2 episodes, I was just drawn in. And the nice thing about Horimiya is that it has moments of pivot where like it gets established and then it moves on to the next social issue or moves on to the next couple, moves on to the next thing while also bringing along the things it built prior. It's actually beautifully written for a rom-com. One of the better. I truly understand why it's the 13th best manga of all time, apparently. I truly understand why. It brought something so unique and so well told to the story. And what I like about it is, my favorite part about it though, is the realism of Horimiya. The way the relationships develop and progress is very, very relatable and very accurate in my opinion. You could see there's like 6 to 7 different types of relationships and situationships depicted, and you can imagine yourself every time you ever ended in one of them in your life. You can very clearly see it depicted. It's wonderful. Cells at Work, the original and Black, I haven't seen either of them. It's one of those animes where I actually do want to see those, but you know, between seasonals and returnings and time, I just don't have time to watch it. But if I ever get a chance, like, it's on a list where it's like, yeah, I would go back and spin the block for that. This was the season though when Redo dropped, and when Redo the Healer dropped, yo, the world was in flames. I loved how polarizing it was, because to be honest with you, I was one of the people that was upset at Redo the Healer. And listen, hear me out. I was upset with Redo the Healer for one very specific reason, and you have to understand where I'm coming from. My beef with Redo the Healer is that the stuff that they put in that made it like eki hentai actually ruined the fact that it was a dynamic and absolute banger story. Like the way the characters are written, their motivations, the trashness of the world, how the relationships and the people are found and built. I think it was some of the better story writing that I've seen in fantasy in a long time, right? But then they took like a solid like A-B+ story, and they threw in a whole bunch of elements that just polarized people one way or another, and it really divided, and I feel like it broke down the fandom, and it made it a show that was like almost too hot to touch, right? Now, most people just watched it. Some people watched in silence, some people watched in horror, some people decided after the first episode they just weren't gonna watch it at all, which pisses me off because I know there's more than what they animated. There's a light novel, there's a manga. I wanted to see season 2. I want to know how the story ends animation wise, right? And because I feel like a lot of the elements that they put in, which is source canon material, right? You know, the R stuff, you know, the snatching of shawties, some of the coarse language and the the beautiful but disgusting things that the MC does with his little harem, it all is technically a part of the story. And I feel like a decent amount you could have left into the story without ruining too much. But there's other moments where I'm like, yo, if you just didn't do this, like everybody could have watched it and enjoyed it. You really alienated a lot of people with the depictions and what you chose to put in. And I know people get at me and be like, yeah, but that's how it was written. You want to adapt it as closely as to what it was written. And to be honest with you, you're right. You are absolutely right. You are more correct than I am correct. And I can say that with the utmost respect. But at the same time, yo, you polarize people and you turn people off from it. And because of that, I don't know if I'll ever get a season 2. And that's where I'm mad at it. It was so good. Like, don't get twisted. The nasty stuff, my name is Director. You already know I was with it, right? But in my mind, I already know if something don't get enough dollars, if it doesn't make enough profit, if it doesn't cause enough of a stir in the industry that they feel like they have to deliver the next one, we're never gonna get it. So now I'm stuck in this limbo where it's like, I can't go read it because we do blind reactions, but at the same time, because of the way they did it, I might never get to see it because they do blind reactions and they might not have enough of the support and dollars to just make it again. So I'm torn, I'm stuck, it hurts, but it is what it is. I understand how the industry works. I understand how business works, and that's just what it is. Last thing I'll say is on oh man, my brain just went blank. Tough. That's okay. But yeah, last thing I'll say is, yeah, this it was a good ass season of anime. It really was. And I'm very happy to see, and even I know this already, that although the Roni did come through and kind of like smack up that 2020 year, it didn't keep it on the downturn for too long. But again, I think I said in another video, the reason why I didn't keep that downturn too long, in my opinion, is because like we were stuck in the house and we needed something to do. So the natural thing was to sink money into visual mediums, aka anime and manga, and that's why we've hit the ground strong. We've really hit the ground strong. It was a good season, good year, fantastic shows. We're gonna end this one here. Make sure you comment down below. Oh, EX arm trash. Make sure you comment down below. Show me the spider if you want me to go get the link for the reactions for that, if you're interested. Don't forget to go to GIGGUK's original video. But yo, DN says what's up, he sent us here. I'll show love over there. Yeah, I'm your man behind the cam as always. Never forget, stay nasty, y'all. You wanna go line 4? Right, I'm really fucking shaking, bro.